Just a quick reminder guys, these narrations are best enjoyed with headphones on. Ladies and gentlemen, start your emulators. It is time for another episode of RetrOS, the show where we give you recommended dose of nostalgia by reviewing games from your childhood. This is Tails9 here, all the way from Sonic Prime. Once again guys, the emphasis is on the 9. And in this episode we turn the clocks back to the year 1997. With LucasArts' fusion of the Doom-esque boomer shooter subgenre with spaghetti westerns like Good, Bad, and the Ugly, which received the remaster treatment from Nightdive. Is this game truly worthy of remembrance, or should this game be lost forever in the pages of gaming history? Well, without further ado, let's find out. First things first, big shout out to boomer shooter connoisseur, a longtime GGR veteran, Greg OG Load Freeland, for suggesting Outlaws. Now onto the review. During to the mid to late 90s, the gaming industry was in a grip of Doom fever. And as James and Movies says in their review of Doom the Dark Ages, the original Doom released in 1993 turned gaming in general on its head. Everyone who was involved in the gaming industry at the time was trying to replicate id Software's license to print money. Examples of this trend were 3D Realms' Duke Nukem 3D.
It's down to you and me, you one-eyed freak.
And Parallax Software's Descent. LucasArts was another company that tried to out-Doom Romero. They did so with the Star Wars flavored boomer shooter Star Wars Dark Forces, originally released exclusively for the PC in 1995, although the game was later ported to the Sony PlayStation. So, in 1997, they tried again with this title. In this game, you play the part of former U.S. Marshal James Anderson. Your wife has been killed, and your daughter has been kidnapped by a criminal syndicate. So it is down to you to gun your way through the various levels and your attempt to rescue your daughter, Sarah. Okay, the accessibility scores are as follows. To kick things off, visibility I gave a 10. Due to the game's age, there are no colorblind modes in its interface, even in the remaster, but there is very little need for one. When using the map, the doors are represented in yellow, the walls are represented in gray. Even the key cards are not color-coded, so no issues exist when taking players with visual impairments into account. Next up, audibility I gave a 9. During cutscenes, subtitles are present. However, you will be relying on audio cues when tracking down enemies, which can be helpful with level progression. So, despite the shortfalls, this game is playable for players with hearing impairments. Next up, mobility, I scored a 9.5. In terms of this category, there are both positives and negatives. In the PC version of the remaster, which we used to test it, the controls can be customized when using a keyboard and mouse. The game has full controller support right out of the box. However, similar to Dark Forces, no Legacy 6 layout is present in this game. The button layouts can be customized as well. Now this is important as a Legacy layout can be a deal breaker when you're playing first person shooter games, as movement forwards and backwards and turning left and right is on one stick. So there is accessibility issues when using a controller, which might carry over to the console versions.
This is outrageous. It's unfair.
And lastly, certainly by no means least, gameplay I scored a 10. On the surface, this looks like your typical run-of-the-mill boomer shooter, with a spaghetti western coat of paint. But there's more to it than meets the eye. For starters, ammo management is key. In the traditional boomer shooters like Doom and Dark Forces, you fire your weapon until you run out of ammo. In this game, you need to reload your weapon after firing a few shots. In most FPS games, when the last bullet in the magazine is fired, your character reloads automatically. Similar to Helldivers 2, you need to reload your weapons manually. If you don't, your gun won't fire, Simple as that. There's also an inventory system in this game. Certain items which you pick up, such as keys and medkits, are added to your inventory. These items can be used at any time, and certain items are carried over from level to level. In summary, Outlaws is an absolute throwback to a time where boomer shooters were in their infancy. Similar to Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, you could toggle between classic and remastered graphics on the fly. Although you spend most of your time in this game hunting down enemies and finding specific items such as key cards and crowbars to progress through levels. Nightdive Studios is the master of remastering boomer shooters. They gave us remasters of the classic Doom games, Heretic, and the remake of System Shock. In James's opinion, they have done a tremendous job bringing this all-time classic back from the dead. In terms of system requirements, this game is low-spec friendly. The game recommends any GPU with DirectX 11 support and a dual-core processor. Even a Chromebook will be able to play this game with a stable frame rate. So if you're a boomer shooter enthusiast and is looking for a classic for nostalgia, this game might fit the bill. And the overall score is 96.25%. This is Tails9 here, all the way from Sonic Prime, Assistant Head of RetrOS here, and I'll see you guys in the next review as we revisit the next page of gaming history.